Hello, Cube friends. As you might have seen from the title, we've got something a little different today. A friend reached out to me and gave me a cool idea for a Stip draft. So if you've never heard of a Stip draft before, Stip is short for stipulation. It just means that I'm going to have some rule that I have to follow during the draft that is going to dictate how I pick things. So it'll get me a little off what my normal picks would be and hopefully create something a little weird and unique. So what we did is we went ahead and checked the most common creature type in the cube, and it is human. So anytime I see a human in a pack, I have to draft that over anything else. If there's more than one, I can choose between any of the humans that are in the pack. And that's pretty much it. So we're just going to draft all the humans we see and hope that we come out with a playable deck at the end. Yeah, let's hop in. Alright, this is going to be a little tough. I'm going to have to check every single card, even if it's not in my colors, to make sure that it's not a human before I draft anything that's potentially an obvious pick. That's going to include power, it's going to include fixing. Always have to draft a human if there is one. Alright, we're starting off strong in pack 1 here. Minsc Boo is a great early pick, and fortunately no humans in this pack. So there are, I think I checked, there's about 50 of them in the cube, give or take. So we should see quite a lot of them, even though we're not seeing the whole cube. But we got fortunate here. We've got kind of a bomb and nothing that we have to take over it. So let's grab the Minsc Boo. Do human planeswalkers count as humans? Probably not. Okay, here's our first human of the pack. So it's luckily in our colors here, shaping up to be a red deck. I think that makes sense. I'm going to guess that most of the humans, they're of course creatures, so they're going to be aggressive leaning, just by virtue of being creatures that are in the Vintage Cube. But I am going to try to prioritize fixing pretty highly, I think is the strategy here, because I think we're going to end up wanting to play a lot of cards that are in various colors. Humans is a fun type to do this with as well because they exist across all the colors. So we're not super locked into anything. This is an interesting pack. So Ulvenwald Oddity leans me into a more aggressive deck. The double green pips might be scary if we end up with lots of colors of humans. So Coalition Relic is a good fixing pick on that front. It can fix us for anything. Renin 6 is another really powerful planeswalker that's in the colors that we're already drafting, so that's another consideration. I think I'm going to stick with the Relic because I suspect that fixing is going to be very important for this Stip. Alright, no humans in this pack either. Gruul Turf could potentially fix us for our Minsc Boo. Obsidian Charmaw is another pretty powerful card. Yeah, definitely between those two for me. I think we might be able to wield the Charmaw. Red is drying up a little bit. Maybe we won't wield the Charmaw. I actually don't really know how good that card is in this format. It feels a little low impact for Vintage Cube. Gruul Turf could also end up being too slow for this format, and it's also weak to Wasteland and Strip Mine. But again, I think we have to take our fixing where we can get it, because creatures are going to end up being more replaceable because we just got to draft all those humans, right? Fixing is going to be harder to come by. Ooh, a Triome. A human. Okay, we're going to draft this Luminarch Aspirant, our only legal option. So now we've moved into white a little bit. No humans here. So I'm thinking Anya's Ravager. A nice aggressive leaning creature. Yeah, that seems like the pick here. Okay, 2 human planeswalkers, but no humans. So it's gonna be probably between the Wandering Emperor and Bonehorde Dracosaur. We could also grab this Celestia Sanctuary. I really feel that bounce lands are not that good in this format. But putting a double white spell into our deck. Ooh, we could also try this Arena of Glory. I think this card is pretty powerful. It's kind of like Hall of the Bandit Lord, but it can enter untapped. It depends on how red we think we're going to be. All right. Ooh, okay. Naya fixing here. That's going to be really good. All right, I like where this is going. Naya Humans Aggro. Okay. We don't have to draft anything here, so I think I'm going to take the Unholy Heat. This is our first pack that we saw the Minsc Boo in. It never really dawned on me that Stitcher Supplier is a zombie. I guess I imagined it as a human helper to a Stitcher, not a zombie that gets more zombie parts. We're going to learn a lot about what cards have what creature types during this draft, or at least I am. Okay, I think this is going to be Virtue of Loyalty for me. Inspiring Vantage is also tempting, but I think Virtue is just really powerful. It's a reasonable curve filler for an aggro deck, and it's also crazy top end to give you reach into the long game. I like this card a lot. Put this with our 2s. So now we've got Epicure versus Unexpectedly Absent. We're sort of leaning base white if we grab this Unexpectedly Absent, and we can be kind of red-white splashing Minsc Boo, and I don't hate that. And yeah, the Dracosaur did, or not the Dracosaur, the Charmaw did come back. I'm gonna grab that. I just don't think Mana Tithe is that good. Like, sometimes you get people with it, but a lot of the time it just rots in your hand. Kumano. I don't think Kumano's going to make the cut here. I'm going to grab the Godless Shrine in case we end up with, like, Dark Confidant or something in our pool. Kroxa. I do like me some Kroxa. I don't think this is going to be an Anger deck. I don't really think it's going to be a Kroxa deck either, but we'll see. And Shadow Spear. Okay. We're going to have to pass this Mox Jet. Probably for Inti is my guess. I think that card is the best human in this pack. So our options here are Dark Confidant, Adeline, and Inti for our 3 humans. So yeah, let's grab Inti. The card is pretty strong. It's obviously nowhere near as strong as Mox Jet, but that's what we've got. Let's do it. Humans in this pack. None. Okay. All right. Talisman of Conviction casts our spells. Fire Blast gives us some decent top end. Lush Portico can fix our mana. Fire Blast is pretty powerful. What if we grab Raucous Theater to try and splash the Kroxa? I guess that's my answer from last draft. What is this card called? It does not have the word luxurious anywhere in its name, so today I learned Raucous Theater. Yeah, let's grab this and let's think about the Kroxa here. Nah, okay, we already have to splash this Minsc Boo. But we've got 2 green sources already. One of our green sources I don't really want to play though, if I can help it. So let's grab the Portico to better support the Minsc Boo. Okay, Huatli is a human. So is Containment Priest, and so is Torsten, Founder of Benalia. So the card that I think is... Oh, and also Benevolent Bodyguard. I don't think any of these cards are that good for our deck. Torsten is pretty much just a reanimate / natural order target in this cube. 7 mana is a lot. We can just mainboard this Containment Priest, I guess. That doesn't seem that good. I would much rather draft a Johnny or Fury here. Yeah, I'm going to grab the Containment Priest. It's just a better curve filler. Nah, I changed my mind. Let's try Huatli. I've never cast this card in my life. Let's see what it does. I literally don't even know what the back says. It says it's a saga on the back. It's got a bunch of stuff going on. Okay, humans are Mother of Runes, and that's it. So that's what we're drafting out of this pack. Hopefully we can wheel this Sarah Paragon. That card would be really good. But we might be stuck with the figure instead. Loran of the Third Path is, yeah, that's our only option here. I'm glad we're kind of sticking red-white for the most part. Cathar Commando also slots into that plan. And Intrepid Adversary, another powerful aggro card. This deck is honestly shaping up to be better than I was anticipating going into this. I was imagining some kind of 5-color pile. Centaur, Human Soldier. Yeah, see, there's another weird one. Why is Esper Sentinel a human? I guess there's a lot of Ethereum people on Esper. Wow, this is a really, really late gut, and we do not get to play it. That's pretty tragic. Okay, the Bob came back, and so did the Adeline. All right. Not too shabby. Shockingly, the Moxjet is no longer in this pack. We did get the Fire Blast back. I'm going to play that card. And both Torsten and Bodyguard came back. I think Bodyguard is going to be a little bit better in my deck. I don't know if either of them are actually going to make the cut. Let's take the Bodyguard. Oh, we did get the Sarah Paragon back. This card is quite good in our deck. Okay. Luris and Zerda here. We could just play Luris in the main board, I think. It's totally fine here. Flame Slash is probably going to make the cut. And here we are at 22 spells going into pack 3. Not sure how I feel about this Unexpectedly Absent. Our 2s are quite strong. I don't know about Huatli. It costs 5 mana to flip this thing. And then it makes 2 dinosaurs. Seething Song can be sideboard. Yeah, it's like a... This card is so weird. Makes dinosaurs, then it makes your dinosaurs tap for mana. Then you find a dinosaur and cast it, I guess. And then it gives all your dinosaurs double strike. Okay, here's the... Alright, double Mox pack. We're going to be drafting Reckless Pyro Surfer out of this pack. Wow, okay. Well, it's better than Outland Liberator, and that is all I have to say. See, the Bodyguard got way better with Luris. I don't know about Coalition Relic at this point. I think we're going to try to get really aggressive with this deck. Like maybe even cut the Charmaw aggressive. That does make me want to bring Absent back in to clear a blocker maybe. Oh, I would love this Plateau. I think we're going to draft 3-man Inspector here. And we're going to cross our fingers. I'd be happy to play Raptor and Oust as well, so we should get something back out of this pack. Okay, no humans in this one. So we finally get the opportunity to draft a fetch land. Or Fable of the Mirror Breaker. I think our card quality is pretty high. So this Marsh Flats can get Jetmir's Garden and Lush Portico. Yes, I think this is going to be an important piece to the fixing puzzle, especially for this Minsc Boo. It's also good with Sarah Paragon, kind of an edge case, but still there. Human Cleric. Yes. I think that's going to be better than Ewit. Ewit is a good card, but we're pretty light on green here, and I just want to keep the mana consistent. Core Cleric, Elder Giant, Human Shaman, Human Wizard. Okay. Have to take the Dragon's Rage Channeler as much as I would love to put this Flage into my deck. If we're lucky, it comes back. Savannah would also be great. But yeah, gonna drop the human. 23 spells here. Ah, Samwise is a halfling. That's convenient. I think it's gonna be Fiery Confluence. I think our deck is fast. I think we're gonna want the six damage Lava Axe mode sometimes. Let's see. Oh, I forgot about the Reckless Pyro Surfer. That's also really good with fetch lands. Okay, this is potentially going to be better at clearing blockers than something like Unexpectedly Absent as well. Maybe the Esper Sentinel? Don't know. We could also play 16 lands in this deck, probably. Porcelain Legionnaire versus Touch the Spirit Realm. Yeah. Okay. I think it's gonna be Legionnaire. Just want a high density of 2-drops. Phyrexian Soldier. Oh, Palace Jailer. That's a great pickup. Despite the fact that we have to pass this Othari, Palace Jailer is fortunately a human. That card is really good in our deck. And a human does come back. Unfortunately, this one's probably going straight into the sideboard. Oh, the Knight of the Reliquary is still here too. Bummer. Okay, I think Dragon's Rage Channeler is not that good here. Okay, no humans, but nothing we can really play. Sneak Attack? That sounds pretty bad. I'm not gonna lie. I guess Deathrite Shaman is the card we are most likely to play here. Generous Ent is not too bad. We can use this to find some of our fixing and maybe even cast it. Oh my god, we did it. Beautiful. Flage is here. Giver of Runes, thankfully not actually human. Core Cleric. Shallow Grave over here, and Exploration not going to make the cut. All right, not too shabby, honestly. We did have to pass multiple pieces of power and a couple of key removal spells, but I think this deck is pretty much fine. Yeah, just kind of a run-of-the-mill aggro deck, and we do still have this Minsc Boo in spite of some other missing power outliers. That gut really hurt, I have to say. All right, how are we going to put this together? So we have to cut... Is this a 16 land deck? So we go up to 4. Virtue of Loyalty is definitely a 2-drop, and Fire Blast is like not really a 6-drop. Our 4s are really good. All of our 4s are quite powerful. I think we can play this at 16 lands. This is a 2-drop. Reckless Pyro Surfer. Battle Cry until end of turn. Yeah, I think that card is good. I think it might even be better than Robber of the Rich. I think we want a decent amount of 1s, although we have a good number of tap lands as well, and those sort of count like 1s. Let's cut the Absent. We don't have... we do have Loran. We have Spellbinder. Have some ways of like kind of dealing with non-creature permanents. And then I think I want to stick with the Bodyguard due to the Luris. That's very powerful. Could be Esper Sentinel. Okay, let's take the Sentinel out. No, that card is so good. This is a tough pick for me. Pyro Surfer is the card I have least experience with, which is a reason that I maybe just want to keep it in. I think we're probably supposed to cut a 3. And deciding on which of these 3s is the worst 3 is very hard. I think I'm going to go with Anya's Ravager. It's the only one here that doesn't do anything on the turn it comes down. And while it does represent a lot of card advantage, we have a bunch of other things that represent card advantage here. Between the Paragon and the Luris, Fleege can represent card advantage. Wow, that's really tough. I wonder if we should cut the Loran because we already have the Cathar Commando. Let's try it like that, and we can bring it in if we see some scary stuff. Okay, we'll play it like this, 16 lands. So we want the Marsh Flats, the Portico, the Garden. Geez, do we want the Gruul Turf? We've got 2 green sources and a fetch land and a generous Ent. No, we don't need the Gruul Turf. I don't want to play not only a tap land, but an unfetchable tap land that also gets us completely blown out if our opponent interacts with it in any way. Yeah, okay, so here's our 6 non-basics. So we get to play 10 basics here. I think we want at least 1 forest. Yeah. I like that. I don't think there's a good reason to play Knight of the Reliquary in this deck. So we'll play 1 forest, and then we'll play 5 and 4, I think. 5 plains, 4 mountains. Oh, this Godless Shrine doesn't need to be here. What am I doing? Get out of here, Godless Shrine. So now we can play 5 and 5. 5, 5, and 1. We have 1 non-basic mountain to turn on our Arena of Glory. Yeah, let's go 5, 5, and 1. Why does it want a swamp in here? Oh, the Luris. No, get out of here. 5, 5, and 1. And that'll bring us to 40. This over here, put this over here. Nope, over here. Legionnaire is a 2. Yeah, looks good. All right, red, white, humans, aggro. Let's give it a go. All right, we are on the draw in round 1 with red, white, oops, all humans, aggro. I think this hand is a keep for sure. The question is, do I want to lead on Mother of Runes, or do I want to play the tap land so that I can cast Inti on turn 2? And I think the answer is lead on Mother of Runes, because Inti is usually a little bit better when you already have a creature on the battlefield to actually attack with and trigger them. I actually don't know Inti's gender. Anyway, we're going to keep this hand. Oh, we get the best of both worlds. We are going to lead on Mom, which of course, if we get to untap with Mom, then it becomes very, very difficult to remove. Ooh, okay. This is cool. So we can play the mountain and pass, and then end step we flash in our 2/2 and then commit the Inti. And that seems pretty good. Narset. Okay, that does not matter to us very much. We can even kill it if we put the counter on our 2/2 and just attack it. End step is going to be Arden Vale Fealty. Make our 2/2 Knight with Vigilance. And then we will go Inti, Seneschal of the Sun. I think we can discard the Benevolent Bodyguard here. That card is mostly only good with Luris, and... oh, okay. That's pretty sweet. I am going to put that on top. But Lurrus doesn't care if it's in our hand or our graveyard, is what I was going to say. So we're going to get Subtlety'd here. We'll put that on top. We will play our land. And then we don't care that much about drawing extra cards here, so I'm just going to attack the Narset down to 1 so they can't activate it again. I think next turn, Adeline. Oh, alright, there will be no next turn. Opponent maybe whiffed on land drops or something and recognized that we're a better tempo deck than them. Alright. So all we saw was Subtlety and Narset. I don't know what we're supposed to do with that information. Neither of those cards make me want to bring in Loran or Unexpectedly Absent, which I think are our best 2 sideboard options in general, so I'm just going to leave the deck as it is. Okay. Marshflats does get Lush Portico here, which gives us a Surveil into an attempted 2-drop, and Unholy Heat is good early interaction. Minsc Boo should close the game out if we can resolve it, so I'm going to keep this. It's not a very aggressive hand, but I think it's still good. Intrepid Adversary will fill our curve out nicely. And end step Surveil. Lush Portico. Flame Slash. Flame Slash kills probably relatively fewer things than Unholy Heat, and it also brings us closer to Delirium if we put it in the yard, so I'm going to actually bin this. We didn't see much of anything that makes me think we want a lot of removal against this opponent. Burst Lightning in response to the trigger. Sure. Waterlogged Grove from opponent here, and Ponder. So here I'd like to draw a tap land or something to spend 3 mana on. Probably the best things. I mean, tap land is not that good, but it's, you know, this is a good opportunity to play it. Alright, we'll play Plains. Now the question is, next turn, do we want to lead on Minsc Boo or Serra Paragon? I think Serra Paragon is scary enough to invite removal or counter magic, and then maybe we can get the Minsc Boo in if necessary. Minsc Boo is the one I want to resolve more, so I'll probably just cast that second. Depends. If they tap out, I'll probably just slam the Minsc Boo. Looking like they're not going to do that, though. So yeah, let's go ahead and get mana leaked here. Oh, Inti. Inti can be for later. Miscalc, sure. And hopefully we've just cleared the way for Boo. 5th land over there. And nothing out of them. Okay. Should I be afraid of Mystic Confluence? Maybe. Let's try Inti. Subtlety. Okay. So that's fine. We're going to put that probably on top. We don't have Delirium right now. But yeah, I'll just draw that again next turn. That's totally fine. Hopefully they're running out of answers over there. They do have a lot of cards in hand. I'll take 3. Got something. All right, they've tapped all the way out. That's good. Scary. Okay, Snapcaster Mage, they can cast it, but it doesn't do anything. And I can Unholy Heat it. So if Minsc Boo... Minsc Boo is going to go up to 4, and Trumpeting Carnosaur has Trample. So we can make a 4/4 and a 2/2. And then double block and save the Minsc. No, that'll kill the Minsc, exactly. So that's not a good exchange for us. I'm still gonna heat the Snapcaster here. Now let's see. So once again, we can have 4 counters on our Minsc Boo. We can have a 4/4 hamster. Oh, the hamster has haste. Does that mean anything for us with regard to Inti? Trample and haste. So if they swing out, we can double block. We lose our Minsc Boo. And then we're just like basically dead. But if we don't cast it this turn, we open ourselves up to counter magic. I think we might just have to trust that our opponent doesn't want to lose their Carnosaur. It doesn't seem very good, but it's like the only line we have here. I would love to make a Boo. I'll +1 targeting Boo. And that's all I got. Uh-oh. That's not good. Oh my god, they flipped through the breach. We might just die. This is so much worse than I was expecting. Okay, they breached in Scrapwork Mutt, so that's at least not as scary. That is a lot worse than Emrakul the Aeon Storm. Tameo. So the fact that they're casting all these things pre-combat mean that they're not going to attack the Minsc Boo? That would be nice. I would appreciate that. I will happily trade my Minsc Boo for 4 cards and your Subtlety. Oh, they get to activate. What other card did they draw? Oh, they drew off of Scrapwork Mutt. Sick. All right, they did the math. So we're supposed to just declare no blocks here, I think. But we really need to draw something that kills the Carnosaur. Mountain is not going to do it. Can we bank on instant speed interaction? We have to flip an instant off of Inti? That's so bad. I mean, we're losing this game otherwise. I think we have to try and kill the Tameo. Okay, we're gonna discard. Yeah, that's fine. I would like to discard a plains. Target this. Exile the top card. Alright, not that bad. I'm gonna make this way bigger than it was in the last video. I don't know if any of you caught the game-winning Relic of Progenitus that I did not notice off of Headliner Scarlet. But there's a little Easter egg for you, my horrendous misplay. Okay, so this is gonna slam right into the Carnosaur. We're gonna get to cast the Flage, second main, and kill Subtlety. Jeez. I feel very far behind here. Oh, I guess we can kill the Carnosaur with the Flage trigger, actually. We just can't do it now. We don't gain the 3 life this way, which kind of sucks, but that's all right. Gonna sack this. And then we actually get to put the Flage onto the battlefield. I'm gonna try to exile things that I can't cast off of Sarah, Paragon / Luris. The Paragon's already gone, so that doesn't matter. So all I have to do is keep the Intrepid Adversary around. Okay, kill the Subtlety. Now I've got a blocker for the Carnosaur. What can they get back with Tamiyo here? Through the Breach. That could just kill me. Otherwise, I mean, basically whatever they want. Counter magic, removal, card draw. Here's the Scrapwork Mutt. They discarded Force of Negation. I agree that that card is not very good here. And attack all. Okay. I'm just going to block the Mutt, I think. Tank the 7 damage. If they have nothing, I can kill Tamiyo with Inti plus Flage trigger and still go face with the Flage. Burst. Wait, what? They brought back the Burst Lightning. Oh, because I blocked. Duh. Okay. Yeah, okay, they just got me. So, in any case, here's Adeline. That's a really good draw. Okay, I believe because of the way Adeline is worded, I can attack face and then make a 1/1 that attacks Tamiyo. I am losing the race now. I take 7 down to 5. And this thing has big trample. Uh-oh. Alright, Time Walk literally just kills me. What did they reveal? Wait, did they reveal nothing? Yeah, okay, they failed to find. That's good news. Going to take 7 here. We draw Luris. Okay, that's very good. This has lifelink and draws us a second lifelinker. That's a nuts draw. Okay. I cannot afford to do this. I don't have enough white sources. So now we get to attack with everything, I think. Even if they remove one of our creatures, we gain 3 and we survive. Plus, Adeline has vigilance, so let's just crack in. If they attack, we get to block with the adversary and then cast the adversary and pay for the trigger, which is very, very good. I don't think they can afford to attack here. It's actually actively bad for them if the adversary dies. Okay, they came to the same conclusion. Arena of Glory doesn't really do anything here. So I think I'm going to pitch it to Inti. I'm going to put the counter on... I'm probably not attacking with Luris here. So let's put the counter on the adversary. Okay, if I attack with all of my creatures and they block Adeline, they take 5, 6, 7, 8, 11, plus the 1 from Inti. So that's actually lethal. But if they have interaction and they block the Luris, I'm back pretty far. I am going to swing out here. I'm going to make them have it. I could put the counter on Adeline to give it trample, but I think I'd rather gain the extra life from the adversary. Inti makes so many triggers. Oh, okay. This goes targeting here. Okay. Anya's Ravager is a great draw here. And I think they have to block... Oh, again, blocking Adeline kills them. Yeah. Good games, opponent. I had a minor misplay there with the Scrapwork Mutt block, but I made up for it by drawing really hot. So I guess Inti does help make your draws look better than they actually are. All right, we are on the play in match 2. Another turn 1 Mother of Runes into turn 2 either Aspirant or Virtue. This hand looks very good to me. All right, Luminarch Aspirant and trigger, target, Luminarch Aspirant. Opponent started us off with an Exploration, which is kind of scary. Pentad Prism. And okay, so Lush Portico is going to give us the ability to Virtue of Loyalty and Step, I suppose. Let's head into combat. Let's put this counter here. We'll crack in for 3. And then second main phase is going to be Lush Portico. Surveil 1. Mountain is good here. We want this. No red sources yet. Planar Genesis. Ooh, okay, this is a new one. This is like the Impulse that's also a growth spiral. This card is cool. They whiffed on the land here. Or how does this work? Yeah, seems like they whiffed on the land. Grim Monolith. Terrifying. But nothing to really do with it here. Okay. Let's go ahead and put the counter on the knight. We'll start off with mountain, I guess. I don't know why that would be relevant. In case they make us discard a card in the middle of combat, question mark. Crack in here. And then we'll play the Ravager. So next turn we can cast the Serra Paragon before combat if we want, to avoid losing it to the Ravager. If the Ravager sticks around, that is. Alternately, we can attack, try to draw a land, and then cast the back half of Virtue. But here's the part where opponent does something very broken. Okay, Karn's not that bad. Balance is going to kill all of my creatures. They've got 3 cards in hand, so they're going to have to discard a card, and we're going to be sacking a land. Okay. Yeah. So keep these 3. And they're probably going to make a Karnstruct here. Any order. And now we don't even have the Serra Paragon guaranteed. This is pretty bad. If we draw a red source, we can blow up the Karnstruct. This thing comes in with 5 loyalty? Wow. Flame Slash. So that can kill the token. Yeah, I think we just have to cast this card. It's probably possible for us to outdraw our opponent here. But of course, they're going to keep making card advantage and possibly... Okay, but choose one of them, put that card into your hand. So I'm choosing the one that they get. They're going to get a land. That's fine. And yeah, I mean, Karn is just a crazy card advantage engine and also can create threats to fairy. Wow. Okay, I don't think we're winning this game. You want to untap my lands? No. Understandable. Have a nice day. Here's my NT. I'm going to take my F6 value against the Teferi Hero of Dominaria opponent. I do not think that... Yeah, so Fiery Confluence can't actually hit Planeswalkers. I think it was printed before the redirection rule change. But there's not really a good way to change the way that's worded for Planeswalkers. Yeah, I might as well have Tinker too. Alright, I'll admit that's not the scariest thing that can come out of Tinker, but it still probably kills me. Palantir. I'll have the mill. I'll take 5. This strikes me as a pretty bad matchup. I think it would be okay if they didn't have balance in their deck. But balance is pretty good against me. No more lies. Sure. No attacks. And pass. Okay, so Kappa Cannoneer has me dead in 2 turns. Palantir plus Kappa might just kill me, and also... Okay, here's Urza. Cannoneer up to a 7/7. Karn can make another artifact, but they chose not to. This doesn't trigger only once per turn, does it? No, it doesn't. Okay, I'm gonna double block the Construct token. I don't really know what I'm drawing out to. Maybe I should try and like sneak in some weird damage somewhere. Like Fiery Confluence, if I draw the mountain. Oh yeah, if I draw the mountain, they're just dead, right? Okay. So, but if I take 12, I have to give them a card. Okay, so I take 12, I try to draw a mountain, and then I kill them for Xaxes if they have nothing. Okay. I have to give them a card off of Palantir. Teferi Time Raveler. That is going to kill me if they bounce anything. Oh, unfortunate. Alright, now we're dead. I'll give them the card here. I don't know what my outs would be. Alright, didn't matter. Concede game. Okay, opponent is Bant Value Pile. So Lorana the Third Path comes in. Unexpectedly Absent, I think, also comes in. Now the cards we're less worried about here are probably... Porcelain Legionnaire seems like a liability against a deck that's full of removal and big blockers, because I'm just paying 2 life for no reason in a lot of cases. Anya's Ravager and Luris strike me as important value engines. So maybe Spellbinder? Spellbinder can make them stumble, but it doesn't do as much in the long game. It is an evasive attacker as well. Let's take out the Spellbinder for the Loran. And the Absent, maybe like Intrepid Adversary or Pyrosurfer. Pyrosurfer pushes a lot of damage early. Intrepid Adversary pushes more damage late. But pushing late damage doesn't matter much here, I think. They're going to win the long game. Let's try it like this. I would love to go first. I am really good at drawing this Mother of Runes. This hand looks great. I mean, it looks the same as the hand we had last game, and we lost that game, so... I wonder if this is a Kraken for that extra 2 with Mother of Runes kind of matchup. Probably not. They've got Force Spike. Is that card even in the cube? Oh, probably Stern Scolding. No, they just want to Planecycle Eagles of the North in response. I guess that's fine. Put this here. And no attacks. Mox Ruby. Must be nice, he says after passing a bunch of Moxes on purpose. Okay. Pretty good. Zernor plus Titania is pretty spicy. Okay, I'm gonna Flage the Gadgeteer. I'm gonna guess that that card is not in their deck unless it's a combo piece. Though it's kind of cute that it's a pretty good value engine either way. Zap that guy. And Kraken for 3. Okay, opponent still has 5 cards and a clue token. Play Boseiju for turn. And presumably cast... Oh, an improvised spell? Oh, Kappa Cannoneer. Okay. Makes sense. Well, I can attack through the Kappa Cannoneer. And on turn 5, I'll be able to Unholy Heat it, but it'll probably be too big by then. Minsc and Boo comes down next turn. This can stay on top, I think. We're just worried about racing the Cannoneer, I guess. And then if we go to combat here, we can attack with the Aspirant. And there are blocks are... Well, okay, I could give it protection first, because this thing's already a 5/5. Protection from blue. And Bodyguard. Okay, between the Aspirant and the Minsc Boo, we're going to be pushing a lot of damage, a lot of which can be unblockable if we need it to be, with the double protection effect here. So hopefully we're just racing. Even if they do something like Balance Me again, I'll get to keep a creature, and I'll also have Flage for those extra few points. Urza, okay. So the Construct token is unfortunate here, because otherwise we would have been able to squeeze the Luminarch Aspirant through with protection, and then throw it with Minsc Boo. But we don't get to do that. They are attacking with the Cannoneer. Right, okay, Ravager. So if we put counters on Boo, and then we put another counter on Boo with Luminarch, then their blocks are actually pretty bad. Or we put the counters on Luminarch. I guess there's no way to make two 5/5s. And whatever is smaller, they're going to block with the Construct token, which I can't give protection from using the Mother of Runes here. So I can cast the Minsc Boo, and I can attack for 5 with the Luminarch Aspirant, and then if they trade with the Construct token, I put counters on the Boo. Interesting turn here. Am I willing to trade Luminarch Aspirant for Construct token in this spot? And if so, why would I cast the Minsc Boo pre-combat? If that creature was a hamster, draw X cards. Okay, so that doesn't matter, except for exactly Boo. Yeah, I think I'm going to cast Minsc Boo post-combat. Okay, counter goes here. Attack. They're going to trade. And then, let's see, so Minsc is going to die to the Cannoneer most likely, but I think that's okay. It also brings us a little closer to Delirium. And we'll be left with a 4/4, which is pretty relevant. And now we can put counters on our Boo. Yeah, I think retrospectively, I think that line would have been a little bit better if we had made the Boo, put the counter on it, and attacked, and then we would have a Luminarch Aspirant instead of a hamster with no text on it after the dust settles. I forgot to weigh that in. Okay, they took a card. Mystical Tutor. That's got to be really bad, right? Balance entered the revealed card zone, so I'm going to lose my hand. And I'm also going to lose one of my creatures. Palantir, okay. Yep, attacking Minsc Boo. Makes sense. Blocks are not allowed. They want to gain 2 life. Oh, they're going to sack their lands. That's really bad. Zern Orb plus balance, kind of a combo. Alright, that makes me pretty freaking dead. I don't think I can get out of this with no hand and no lands. With just Boo. Okay. Anya's Ravager discarded into exile, but cannot cast that one. I have no mana. And now I will get Cannoneered and Palantired to death. Oh, they're going to draw a card right now? Okay, yeah. I guess. If it's like Ponder or something, they get to cast it. If it weren't for the Palantir, I would kind of feel like maybe we have a chance here. We get to attack with the Boo. Their blocks are bad. Their attacks are also bad, unless they have another artifact. Okay, Hallowed Fountain does not really do anything here. Teferi, Hero of Dominaria, is really bad. Okay, they're going to draw a card. I am not going to be able to kill their Teferi. I am not going to give them a card. I'm going to take 4 from Pentad Prism and Mana Leak. Drew Marsh Flats. I guess land is kind of what we're looking for here. I think I'm just going to attack face again. I'm still not really sure how we actually get out of this. Because now... No, I have to attack the Teferi because otherwise they downtick, and I can't use the Mother of Runes to protect from Teferi as well as Kappa Cannoneer. They really are out here drawing 3 cards a turn to my 1. Tinker away the Mox Ruby for something besides Kappa Cannoneer. Cryptic Coat. Yeah, that's pretty good. This does not quite kill me, but it comes pretty close. I'm probably going to be forced to give them a card here. All right, and yeah, you get a card this time. I can't take 3 cards worth of damage. Grab a Jetmir's Garden and see what we got. Probably nothing that deals 13 damage. That one definitely doesn't do it. Okay, so we are just dead. Yeah, we're just dead. Oh, they blocked. Why would they do that? Okay. I guess this is why we make the attack. This kills the cloak and it kills the Teferi. I guess they're probably just messing around because they have an artifact in their hand. Oh yeah, they can just bounce the coat and then cast the coat, so it doesn't matter. They have an artifact in their hand on board, as it were. Trinket Mage. They just want to show me the other cool stuff they have in their deck. Retrofitter Foundry. Yeah, that's pretty good with Kappa Cannoneer. Alright. I shall die. Okay, that was a really bad matchup for this deck. But we still have a shot to redeem ourselves and lock in the 2-1 in match 3. Alright, we're on the play in match 3. Against Don't Daze Me, Bro. It's funny. Okay, all red sources. and nothing to do until turn 3 off of them. I think this hand might be okay. I mean, worst case scenario, if we don't cast anything by the time we cast the Ravager, we get 3 new cards. I'm gonna risk this one, yeah. Mountain and Sago. Opponent's got a Plains and nothing. Okay, we found a Forest. I'm gonna play that out now. I don't know that we need double red for anything. This way we can cast the Ravager on turn 3, and on turn 4 we can cast the Minsc Boo before combat. And we get to keep it. Ooh, Arena of Glory. Well, we don't really want to give the Ravager haste. That's actually kind of bad for us. So let's just use the regular old mana that comes out of this card. Staff of the Storyteller is going to make another blocker. But so far, none of this lines up very well against Minsc Boo. Oh, we even found our Plains. Does that mean we want to... No, Minsc Boo is still the best thing to be doing here. We're going to lose some of our white spells, but now we've got all of our colors of mana for whatever we do draw off of the Ravager. Gonna put some counters on the Boo, and I'm gonna smack in. They're gonna draw a card in response. Any order here, and 3 new cards. Sarah Paragon is a crazy good draw here. We're just gonna keep pitching things and casting them back. Discard Gristlebrand. Well, that's scary. Hopefully it's Animate Dead so we can Cathar Commando it. We're also about to make a Boo that can tussle with the Gristlebrand, so there's that. Leyline Binding takes my Minsc, probably. But we can Cathar Commando that back onto the battlefield. So I think what I want to do here is play the Marsh Flats, because I think we don't want to draw that many more lands this game. I'm going to Sarah Paragon pre-combat, swing in, and then next turn we can play the Commando out of our graveyard to get our Minsc back. I think that's a pretty good line. We can actually even give it haste if we want. Yeah. Okay. Don't have another land drop, don't have any more mana, so we'll go to combat. And we'll get in. Any order there, that doesn't matter. There was no way for us to save the Unholy Heat, yeah. Okay, they're gonna block, they're gonna take 7 down to 9. And they're presumably just going to hope to find a reanimation spell. Cathar Commando plus Unholy Heat will actually kill the Gristlebrand, even if they do get it onto the battlefield. Is that correct? Yeah, we can do 4 plus... Oh no, because we don't have Delirium, so that's only 6 damage. Maybe if they block? True Name Nemesis. Okay, that's a good one. We do still get to trample over it, so they're going to have to block the Ravager. Take 7 and then get fleeged. Alternately, we get back the Minsc Boo and put counters on our trampler. How do we want to do this? We can play a land, so we have access to 5 mana. We can't Flage plus Cathar Commando. As it stands, we can Luminarch Aspirant plus Flage. I think what we want to do here is just play a Plains, and then attack, and then kill them post blocks. I think that's what this is. Okay. Oh, I forgot about the trigger. Ugh. Okay, I needed to play Mountain. Yeah. Okay. I can still fling the hamster at them. Oh no, I can just cast the Flage out of my graveyard with Serra Paragon. What am I talking about? I am a mess. Okay, second main phase, kill you. What? Why did it pay the red mana into the generic cost? Oh, I don't want to escape this. I just want to cast it. Oh, I can't because I already Plainsed. Okay, now I understand how this works. I thought it was a land and a spell. Okay, that means I should have killed them and didn't. So let's just put the Porcelain Legionnaire onto the battlefield. I don't want to put the Monarch into this game because they have a True Name Nemesis. I have multiple ways of just killing them. They would have to... Okay, yeah. Alright, stumbled my way through that one despite not understanding how Serra Paragon works at all. Let's just double check this here. So once during each of my turns, I may play a land from my graveyard or cast a permanent spell with mana value 3 or less from my graveyard. And if I do, it gets the finality and the 2 life. Okay. Great. So compare that to Luris, which says once during each of your turns, you may cast a permanent spell. Yeah. Once during each of your turns. Yeah, both of them do not synergize with Flash. Okay, so opponent appears to be some kind of reanimator strategy. They have a Gristlebrand and a Jace. So Unexpectedly Absent is probably very good against them. Deathrite Shaman is not going to do the trick here unless I bring the Godless Shrine in, but I don't think that's very good. I think it's just going to be Unexpectedly Absent here. Spellbinder seems good. Legionnaire seems totally fine. I think we want fast pressure here. Ravager could be the cut. Maybe Palace Jailer, knowing that they have a True Name, but I don't know, that card's really messed up. Probably just always keep that in. Is there anything that's a liability against decks that want to use their graveyard? I don't think so. We don't have anything that makes them discard anything. Let's just cut the Ravager here. I think that's fine. Alright, this hand is truly bad. Unkeepable. This one is a little bit better. I don't mind putting the Esper Sentinel away. We have Flame Slash into Inti, which is fine, I guess. I'd prefer to lead on Mother of Runes if we find a white source. Ooh. Ask and you shall receive. Sea Chrome Coast and pass. Okay, this is just going to be inty, no attacks. I'm not too worried about putting a counter on my Mother of Runes. I'm much more worried about protecting my inty from removal. Yeah, True Name is here. That is going to be a pain. That might just lose us the game, honestly. We can give the inty Pro Blue. 2 can play at this game, I guess. We give it Pro Blue, we discard a mountain, and we put a counter on it. And then we just try to win the race, basically. Eventually we get to a point where they can't attack with the True Name, and we just have to try to kill them around it. Yeah, we're just going to do it like that. Protection from blue. We're going to get in there. We have more double white spells than double red. We already have a double white spell in our hand, and we have a double white 3-drop that we might draw here. So mountain seems like a good pitch. Jetmir's Garden, not too bad. I'll happily play that. And say go. Okay, there's a Mox. What can they do here that's terrifying? Probably Teferi. Treachery, targeting inty. So, if we Palace Jailer our own inty, they actually get it back, because Palace Jailer is worded in the Banishing Light way. I believe that's how that works. But that's better than spending... I mean, there's nothing else we can do about it, I guess. Okay. They're going to Odawara my Mother of Runes. That's fine. Council's Judgment entered the exile zone? What does that mean? What did they exile? Oh, they discarded. Yes, any discard triggers the inty. They discarded Odawara and triggered inty. Good to know that they have the councils. So now they're going to start growing the True Name, and that's terrifying. Oh, you know what? I actually think that Palace Jailer works the way we want it to because of Treachery. This is not a continuous effect. I mean, it's a continuous effect, but it's granted by the aura. So if we exile it, the aura falls off, and then I believe it should come back under our control. And, I mean, frankly, we just have to hope that's how it works. But I believe it is. Now we have to figure out how to race this True Name Nemesis, which is going to be very difficult. But they're running out of cards. We have a lot of pressure in our hand. I believe we're going to get the inty back when they hit us. Yep. Okay, cool. And now what? Porcelain Legionnaire plus Mother of Runes. We can discard probably Flame Slash. We could discard Porcelain Legionnaire and then just cast it with Sarah Paragon. I think we I think we discard the Flame Slash, probably. No, we should probably discard something we can actually cast out of our graveyard. Maybe not, because we might draw something good off of Inti that we want to cast. This is tough. We could get rid of the Portico. And then if we don't hit a land off Inti, we can cast Paragon into land. Is that any good? Yeah, okay, that's probably smart. Let's discard Portico. Let's put the counter on the Palace Jailer, just to try and diversify our threats a little bit. Minsc Boo. Okay, that's pretty good. We're going to become the Monarch. Minsc Boo is going to die to True Name Nemesis, but it is going to grant us a 4/4 in the process. And it's also going to heavily incentivize opponent to not only attack with their unkillable blocker, but also attack not me while I have the Monarch. So on the whole, this is a really favorable interaction. And if they choose not to kill the Minsc Boo, then it's going to get out of hand really quickly. Okay, they went for the Minsc Boo, so I get to keep the Monarch for an extra turn. And now I have 10 damage coming their way. Never mind, I have no damage. But they did deal with their terrifying 4/2 for me, so that's great news. I think we're going to Serra Paragon and play the Lush Portico here. Eventually, we're just going to grind them out with the Monarch and the Paragon and the Lurrus. Put that right into the graveyard, because we can cast it off the Paragon, so it's almost like drawing a card. They can turn over their Incubator, but we're going to gain a lot of life with the Paragon as well. Plus multiple lifelink threats in our hand. I feel like we are pretty far ahead now. 6 cards to our opponent's 1, drawing a 7th. Okay, put that back. Take 4. They're going to take the Monarch. And I have no hasters here. So they're going to keep the Monarch for at least another turn. Flame Slash seems like an important piece of this puzzle. And then probably Paragon plus Thraben Inspector. I think so. We'll play the Mountain out of hand, because otherwise we'll have to discard. No, that's not true. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we play... Oh, but we can't play the Paragon and then the Mountain out of graveyard and still cast the Thraben Inspector. We would have had to do this in the opposite order, so I messed it up. If we cast the Paragon before the Flame Slash, then that line works. Oh, no it doesn't, because you can't play the Mountain and the Thraben Inspector. I'm going to mess that up every time. Okay, so it's got to be Mountain from hand. Serra Paragon. And Inspector over here. Life total is low. We're going to be able to heat the Borrower. Take down to 5. We have no way of... well, okay, we can actually technically heat the Thraben Inspector if we need to gain 2 life for some reason. Oh, they have their own Palace Jailer. That's pretty bad. If we heat the Jailer, and then we attack with the Thraben Inspector, then we get the Monarch back. But then we die to Brazen Borrower? I mean, not quite. Okay, I think we have to start off with Unholy Heat targeting Palace Jailer. Maybe Spellbinder would have been better there. Okay, doesn't matter. Now if we attack we get the Paragon back for free. So I wonder if it's better to Spellbinder to check their hand. Okay, let's Spellbinder pre-combat. We should have done this before the Unholy Heat. Staff and Grave Titan. Alright, well Grave Titan is terrifying. So is Staff, but not as terrifying as Grave Titan. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So they're pretty close to casting it anyway. But they would have had it next turn. Let's go to combat. We'll poke in. This is going to get our creature back, which blocks the Brazen Borrower. And then from here we can play Mountain, and probably just Mother of Runes plus Intrepid Adversary, because we really need to get a lifelinker down. And then we'll draw a card. Okay, Pyro Surfer is a lot of damage. That's like gotta be lethal, right? They make a... Oh, they're tapping... Oh, they drew Mox. Did they already have the Mox? Did I count wrong? Play small... Okay. Zombie tokens. Sure. Yeah, they already had the Mox. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Where did the last mana come from? Oh, it only costs 2 more? Yeah, it only costs 2 more. Okay. So let's take a look here. They're at 11. If I cast the Reckless Pyro Surfer and then trigger Battle Cry, I give all my creatures +1/+0, including 2 flyers. But they can block 1 of them. So they're taking at least 4 in the air. The Grave Titan is going to crack back for a bunch of damage. But I'm also going to gain 4 life up to 9. Wow, this is really complicated. I believe we can safely draw a card first, at the very least. Cathar Commando. That doesn't really do anything, but it does block at instant speed. So that's kind of interesting. You have to attack with this to get the Battle Cry, right? Is that how Battle Cry works? No, no reminder text. Okay, well, I think you do. Whenever this creature attacks other creatures you control, get +1/+0 until end of turn. That sounds right to me. So this has Battle Cry. We're going to attack with the flyers for sure. And then I think we just hang out and flash in the commando. Gotta gain some life here. So Grave Titan just blocks the adversary. That's fine. We can even give it protection from black if we want. Oh, they blocked with a token. Okay. So these will trade. They'll take 4. These will trade. Do I want to give this protection? Because I'm going to want it next turn. They're going to go to 7. I'm going to go to 9. I can just chump block the Grave Titan with Thraben Inspector. And then try to kill them next turn. They are going to have more zombies. But I'm still going to have the Serra Paragon. So I'm going to be able to cast the adversary and make all my creatures bigger. Yeah, this is another situation where the adversary dying is actually good for me. I'm going to give this pro black. I'm going to let these trade. Any order here. And if I cast the adversary now, I only get to put 1 counter on it. Or I could try and block with the Cathar Commando. They've got 1 card in hand. I'm drawing another card. I think I'm going to cast the adversary now, pump my team. Okay. Now I've got 2 blockers, one of which has lifelink. This will give all my creatures +1/+1. Staff of the Storyteller, we knew about that one. That's going to be another flying blocker for the Sarah Paragon. What if we double block the Grave Titan? Okay, they draw a card. Oh, they also played a land. Okay. I think I'm going to kill the Grave Titan. They're going to get 2 2/2s. I'm going to gain a bunch of life. I'm going to gain 4 life and then 4 more life. This is going to shrink my team again, but I feel very far ahead at this point. These don't even go into my graveyard. Is that a triggered ability? Oh, it is. Look at that. Virtue of Loyalty is a pretty freaking good draw. Yeah, so that's going to look like Spellbinder you and then just Virtue of Loyalty and eventually win the game. All right, sold. 1 2 3 4 5 plus 1 2 3. Yeah. Sure, I'll take your Mox Jet. You can pay 2 mana for it. Now it's fair. Yeah, and we'll just go land. That will give Battle Cry. I don't think I'm attacking with this turn. And I've got 1 2 3 4 5 6 mana, so I can't cast both halves, but I'm just going to slam the Virtue. And that should hopefully close the game out. Attack with the Flyer. In absolute worst case scenario, I still have this Lurrus in my hand. Even if somehow the Monarch plus the Virtue doesn't get there. Oh, Fiery Confluence is almost certain to do it. So they've got access to Mox Jet. They're going to draw a card with their staff. Kaito. So they can loot and they can make a ninja. The ninja blocks, but that doesn't matter. Yeah, they're digging for an answer here. Mox Jet. Kaito faces out. They've got 1 card in hand. Okay, here's my Fiery Confluence. I'm going to deal 2 damage to each creature and 2 damage to each opponent. Should be more than enough. I guess I'll give this pro red. No, I want it down. 2 damage to each opponent and 2 damage to each creature. Okay. Okay, shrunk the battlefield a little bit. That's nice. What are we able to get punished by here? Okay, they're out of here. Nice, another 2-1, in spite of passing multiple mocks in during the draft. I had fun with that. If you have any ideas for interesting stipulations, I'd be all ears. I think it's a fun thing to do during the actual Moto Vintage Cube season. So yeah, hit me up with any funny stips you've got. I'd love to try them out. And we'll see you next time.